tips. Okay, tip number one that I love to do most of the time. I go on YouTube all the time. I can watch some funny videos. I can do whatever I want. I watch documentaries. I watch documentaries that you can also watch about Athens, the Athenians, the culture, anything, the Spartans, and what they did back then. You can search up Romans, anything, documentaries from the History Channel, whatever. If you love learning about that stuff, you can do that. I love doing that. Interesting to learn some more. I feel like a professor smart personally when I watch it. It's so fun because some of the clips they're fighting. So I love watching that. And they're like an hour long. So you can just watch like one. Just watch one a day. So that way you don't run out so quickly. I have like a long playlist of them. Unfortunately, some of them get deleted time and time because they have to delete it. They're really cool. I like watching them. There's some I was learning about aqueducts. Some of them I was learning about the fighting techniques. Some of them are like just the city-wise, how big it was, how it started, anything. I love it. Number two, you can do some drawings like they do on Tumblr. Just don't go crazy watching them all the time, but you can do it yourself. I love making art too. This is scratch art. Love doing scratch art. Tribute to Athena, if it's worthy of it. I love it. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry. No. There's the other one. Okay. Number three, you can go to the library. I know, it's pretty bad. I can't go to the library, unfortunately, because this weekend it's going to be over 110 degrees, and I can't go outside. Burning. You can go to the library and go get some books about Romans, Athenians, anything. You can go get some more myth books, any myths at all. Greeks, Romans, Norse, Chinese. I've never read that, but I want to. You can do anything. It's fun. You get to learn new stuff. It's so interesting. And you can read some other fantasy books. That is the best tip I can give you. Read ones that you never read before, because it's more interesting to learn something new and read something new. Spooks books, I've heard about that. I wanted to go read them, but unfortunately I still have a list. You can read Harry Potter if you haven't, or it's been years, you can reread it. Or you can read Hunger Games, you can read, there's a really good series, Aragon, the Inheritance series. If you haven't read that, that will take you forever to read. You can probably read until October if you haven't read it. It's a good series. You can read some other fantasy books. There's a whole bunch of them in my library. You can just look at the library and find some. I heard about a good one that I wanted to read. It's got Norse mythology. It's Rune Marks, I'm thinking it's called. It's about magic and the goblins are in it. I want to read that, so you should read it. It's pretty good. So far that I've heard of, it's really good. You can read books. Okay, here's another tip. You can read books that make you think about other characters. You can read like their interests. Like Percy, you can think of sea. You can read of boats. Think about those. Recently in my book list that my parents gave me, it's got Master and Commander. You can't see that. It's got a boat on there. It's really interesting because it does give information about the boat. And it's got a little diagram about what's on the boat and what it's called, Fort Tail or something like that. You can read books like that. You can read books about architecture, see what it's really like and what Annabeth likes. So you can read about myths or whatever. You can do a lot of stuff. You can just find some stuff to do. I personally just went into my garage and I found my old, I can show you guys, my old sword. This is real, so I can't use it. That's why I'm in the garage. My stepdad has forbid me to keep it in the house. It's real. It's not real, but it's made out of metal, so I can't use it. Unless, the only exception I will give is if I see a monster. If there's a monster about to get me, I will come back here and use it. The other exception is if there's an apocalypse. Fortunately, right now, not gonna happen. Well, fortunately. Those are some tips that you can do to Percy Jackson Withdrawn. You can do that. That's what I do. I don't know if you find this helpful at all, but those are the things I love to do. So if you find that interesting, you can try those. If you don't like the techniques I use, you can find your own, do some crafts. So yeah, I got my sword, so I am all good. Got my owl. So if you have any other tips that you would like to tell me until October, so I have to wait. If you can tell me some other tips, please let me know. And if you want to know other tips that I probably come up with in a few days or a few months, I can tell you guys. Alright. You have any suggestions of what videos I can do or any books to read, please let me know. Alright. Thanks, guys.